It's January 2015. Chris Meir and his group of New Zealand film students were outside their school near Auckland's Parnell railway station, filming for fun. But what started as a casual shoot quickly turned eerie. As the group laughed and played, they spotted something unsettling. A man and a woman in creepy white masks hiding in the tall grass next to the station. They weren't just hiding, they were staring directly at the camera, their presence chilling and unexplainable. A chilling realization sets in as Chris and his friends review the footage. At first, they thought the masked figures were just pranksters from their school, which is why laughter can be heard throughout the video. But that laughter? It wasn't from confidence. It was nervous, masking the terror they felt in the moment. Looking closer at the footage, something even more disturbing emerges. The couple appears to be armed. In some clips, it looks like one of them is holding a pistol, adding a sinister layer to the already unsettling encounter.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I don't see him.
Just as Chris and his friends tried to shake off the unsettling encounter, the masked figures began to move closer, too close for comfort. Panic set in, and the group bolted for the main road. Moments later, a police chopper circled the area. While it's unclear who called the cops, reports suggest this wasn't the couple's first act of terror. Earlier that week, they'd reportedly harassed a woman at Auckland's Domain Park, but vanished before police could intervene. When officers arrived at the station, Chris and his friends recounted their terrifying experience. The Auckland Police Department later issued a Facebook post, warning the public about the masked duo and urging civilians to report any sightings. They cautioned that if the suspects were carrying weapons, fake or real, authorities would respond as though they were genuine threats. Shortly after, the suspects turned themselves in, though police kept most details, like their identities and motives, under wraps. Speculation ran wild online. Some accused the students of faking the encounter for attention, but a school spokesperson quickly debunked this, confirming the suspects had no connection to the institution. While Vice reported that the weapons were fake, no official confirmation has ever surfaced. To this day, the masked couple's identities and reasons for terrorizing random civilians remain a mystery. Chris and his friends were lucky to escape unharmed, but it's chilling to realize that this wasn't some harmless prank. It was a very real and dangerous situation, proof that sometimes the most terrifying encounters aren't with ghosts or the paranormal, but with people. And speaking of chilling mysteries, let's dive into something even darker. Near the base of Mount Fuji in Japan lies Aokigahara, a dense forest ominously known as the Sea of Trees. This vast woodland grew atop a 30-square-kilometer expanse of hardened lava from Mount Fuji's last major eruption. But beyond its natural allure, Aokigahara is infamous for a much darker reason. It has become a site where many choose to end their lives. Signs at the forest's entrance plead with visitors in Japanese. Think once more about your parents, siblings, and children. Please don't suffer alone. Reach out first. In July 2017, urban explorer and YouTuber Burbex ventured into the eerie depths of Aokigahara, documenting his journey for his audience. The video begins uneventfully, with quiet trails and thick, foreboding greenery. But just minutes into his exploration, he stumbles upon an abandoned bicycle, a discovery that marked the start of something far more disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? And there's a packet for a knife. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
On top of the abandoned bike, Burbex finds an empty packaging for a kitchen knife. Moments later, he stumbles across a note scrawled on a plastic bag. The note translates to 1211 verified Fujiyosha police station, suggesting it's likely evidence connected to someone who left their belongings behind before ending their life. The thought is chilling. Evidence of tragedy left behind, confirmed by the local police. It's heartbreaking to imagine how many lives have been lost in this forest over the years, and even more disturbing to think how easily any explorer could stumble upon a body while traversing its eerie terrain. Despite efforts by the Japanese government, including security cameras at the entrance and trained volunteers to engage with visitors, the forest's dark reputation persists. The media's sensationalization in recent years has only added to its infamy. But as haunting as this is, what happens next in Berbix's journey will leave you questioning just how deep the shadows of Aokigahara truly go. Keep watching, because the most unsettling discovery is yet to come. Early 2023, David Meredith, out for his usual evening walk in Red Deer, Canada, stumbled upon a bull moose grazing by a tree. Intrigued, he hid behind the tree to get a closer look, but the peaceful moment quickly turned into panic. The moose noticed him, turned, and began charging. To grasp the danger, consider this: an adult bull moose can run over 35 km/h, nearly twice the speed of an average human male. While moose aren't typically aggressive, they can be deadly if provoked. Sensing the moose's intent, David's instincts kicked in. Desperate to survive, he scrambled up the nearest tree, narrowly avoiding the sharp antlers that could have easily ended his life. What started as a casual stroll turned into a harrowing escape.
He just ran me up a tree.
The encounter wasn't over yet. Safely perched in the tree, David began recording, his nervous breathing audible as the bull moose stared him down. For 30 tense seconds, the massive animal didn't budge. Then, it began charging back and forth with its head lowered, a clear sign of stress and aggression. If David had slipped or come down too soon, the moose would have attacked without hesitation. In an interview days later, David shared that he stayed in the tree for over 10 minutes, clinging to a flimsy branch. Demonstrating how he climbed, he revealed just how precarious his situation was. If the branch had broken, he would have been at the mercy of the furious moose. Fortunately, after realizing David wasn't coming down, the moose eventually gave up and ran off. David stayed put for another 30 minutes, ensuring it was safe before finally climbing down. Some encounters are just too close for comfort, and while David survived to tell his story, this could have easily ended much differently. It's a chilling reminder of how unpredictable nature can be. In February 2018, Greg Harris uploaded a GoPro video of himself riding his ATV along an unnamed trail. At first, the footage is exactly what you'd expect, an adventurous ride through rugged terrain. But in the blink of an eye, something chilling interrupts Greg's peaceful journey, turning his routine outing into a moment he'll never forget. As Greg speeds down the trail, his GoPro captures something horrifying: a metal wire stretched tightly between two trees. The wire catches his helmet, forcing him to a sudden and dangerous stop. It's terrifying to think how easily this could have been fatal. If the wire had been set just a bit lower, it could have struck his neck instead, resulting in a decapitation. Fortunately, Greg's speed and the wire hitting his helmet instead of his throat caused it to snap, sparing his life. In the video description, Greg explains how lucky he was to escape with only minor injuries. But what's even more disturbing is the fact that these traps aren't uncommon. Within the dirt bike and ATV community, such wires are often set up by individuals frustrated by noise, trespassing, or, in some cases, purely malicious intent. The motives behind this particular trap remain unknown, but the danger it posed was very real. Greg used his footage to warn others about these deadly hazards, especially when riding through wooded trails. This chilling incident serves as a grim reminder of how reckless and cruel some people can be, and why riders should always stay vigilant. If you think this is disturbing, brace yourself, because what comes next is even more unsettling. It's the summer of 2014, and Chris is biking through the rugged mountains near Fernie, British Columbia. Everything seems serene until he spots movement in the tall grass ahead. His heart sinks as he realizes it's not just any animal, it's a mountain lion. Instinctively, Chris grabs his camera and starts recording, knowing he's about to face a moment he'll never forget.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
At first, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where the animal is hiding, but as Chris cautiously moves closer to the trail, the figure begins to emerge from the tall grass, creeping closer with every step. The tension in the air is undeniable. Chris knows he's now face to face with a predator.
That is a mountain lion, and he's stalking me.
Mountain lion sightings are rare, but when they do happen, they can be extremely dangerous. If you see one stalking you through the tall grass, locking eyes as it inches closer, it's a clear sign you're in trouble. About 2 minutes into Chris's footage, the lion begins to pick up speed, closing the distance between them. That's when Chris makes a critical mistake, the one thing you should never do. He turns his back and starts to run.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you.
For the next couple of minutes, Chris tries everything to scare the mountain lion away, but it doesn't budge. Instead, it circles him, its piercing stare locked on him as it moves through the tall grass near the edge of the woods. Summoning his courage, Chris takes a few careful steps toward the main trail, hoping to make it back to his car. But just as he thinks he's making progress, the mountain lion suddenly cuts him off, blocking his path once again.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
Thankfully, after a few tense moments, the mountain lion turns away and disappears into the trees. Situations like this are utterly terrifying, especially knowing that the only reason the lion didn't attack was because it chose not to. Had it felt more threatened, the outcome could have been devastating. Luckily, this was just a close call, and Chris managed to walk away from the encounter completely unharmed. That's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this chilling story, hit the subscribe button and check out the next video on your screen for more gripping encounters. March 2019, Farron, New Jersey. A 5-year-old girl playing with her friends near a creek in the woods behind her home made a disturbing discovery. Nestled in the trees, just off Route 208, she found a pile of clothing, torn and stained with dark red marks. Alarmed, she ran to tell her father, Dave Karada, who quickly went to investigate. What he found was chilling. Tattered women's clothing, shredded as if cut off a body, with suspicious stains that were impossible to ignore. Though the family had lived there for 13 years and knew the area well, this discovery left Dave deeply unsettled. He called the Bergen County Sheriff's Office, feeling the clothes were far too unusual to dismiss as litter or a prank. Upon inspection, it seemed the bundle had been lying there for months, as weathering explained some damage, but not the deliberate cuts or the dark stains. The police appealed to the public for help identifying the clothing, hoping it was part of an elaborate hoax rather than evidence of something more sinister. Unfortunately, no one came forward, and without a clear connection to a victim or a crime, the clothes couldn't be processed for testing. To this day, the Farron Police Department has been unable to match the clothing to anyone. The unsettling discovery remains an unsolved mystery, leaving many to fear the worst about what those ominous stains might signify. Some mysteries, it seems, linger in the shadows, unanswered and unnerving.